Beautiful ones, your greatest loves are not yours to keep. 2 love stories. This is Bird Mejia, intuitive healer. I walked into a room. It was a networking meeting, a woman's networking meeting. I walk in and oh my goodness, right there, I feel him before I even look. The most beautiful man I have ever seen. To this day in my life. My heart started to race, right? And then we went and did introductions. It was a networking meeting. And when I started talking, I was sweating. I'm like, why am I sweating? And then I knew. A few days later, we spent this amazing day on a mountainside. We climbed up Superstition Mountains. We got to the top and he kissed me. And there was this little tiny bird, this little chickadee there. And I remember the feeling looking over this beautiful mountain, over Superstition, and this beautiful man that I had only ever dreamed of kissing me. And I was so happy. We got done with that day. He said to me, he said, I want this. You balance me. I want this. And then when he was leaving, he kept on trying to leave. And every time he went back to his car, he'd come back and he was like, the last words he said to me were, as he pushed me away, he's like, I can't. What is this? I can't leave. I can't tear myself away from you. That was the last time I ever saw him. Second love story. He was at a USO meeting. This was, 50 some years ago. He was at a USO dance. And he was in the Navy, Vietnam War. And he looked, and there was this blonde woman. And she was dancing, petite blonde woman. She was a Mexican woman. He didn't know then, but she was dyeing her hair blonde, trying to look like the Marilyn Monroes of the time. And he went up to her, tapped her on her shoulder. She turned around and he said, oh my God, her face. She was so pretty. And right then, he fell in love with her. She fell in love with him too. They married, had 5 children. I am the oldest. They lived their lives and they planned they were going to do a trip. They wanted to go to Jerusalem. They were going to see where their spiritual beliefs lie. They had planned this, and one day she went in, she had a stomachache. She died 35 days later. That was the end of the story, right? So these are 2 love stories. One was a love story for me. It was one I had, a love at first sight. It was somebody that I have been told I've had many past lives with, and it ended before it started. And my father's story and my mother's story, and theirs lasted some 50 years. But no matter what love we have, right, our greatest loves are not ever ours to keep. And we get to be thankful for the gifts. In my story, a year later, because I couldn't get this man off my mind, I'm like, why can I still feel him? And I went to one of my spiritual teachers and she did the whole astrology and she said, he's the only man that's actually written on your chart. You've had many past lives with him. You are not to be together romantically in this lifetime. And she said to me, she said, I'm so sorry you even met him. It's just going to there's no purpose except to cause you pain. But I don't look at it that way. I look at it that it was a gift. So the loves in your life, whether they are a romantic love, whether they're a child, whether they're a friend, the loves in your life are gifts. They're a gift to be honed and appreciated in the moment. No matter, they're not ours to keep. Whether it is one day, one conversation on an airplane that you meet somebody you have a connection with, or an entire lifetime. Eventually, there's going to be an end. Our greatest loves are not to keep. And what do we want to do? We want to keep them, right? We get hurt. Somebody I loved, she left me. Oh my goodness, he left me. He ghosted on me. Or, children. What do we do with children often? We have this beautiful gift and then we want to hang on to the child, right? And this is the most damaging thing for a parent, is that when your children get older, there is a time, metaphorically, you go out into the woods. And as a mother, this is something that I've been conscious of. I go out into the woods and I bawl my eyes out and I have to let my child go. Because if I don't let my child go, I create a weak woman or a weak man that's not able to forge on their own. We have to allow everyone we love to go. Even if you're in a beautiful relationship with somebody, someone that you love, your life partner, you still cannot own that person. You do not possess anybody. You have to let them go. If you love somebody, you set them free. So the greatest gifts we have are never ours to own. Same with friends. Sometimes a friend comes into our life and then we think, what did they do? Like, you're so upset and you have so much anger at this person, what they did to you. They betrayed you or they did something, right? The gift was in the moment. It wasn't this promise. We want to hang on to things and keep them like this, right? The gift is always in the moment. Even memories, we say, well, we can keep the memories. Yes, but we can keep the memories, but we're stuck in the memories of the past. How can we be in this present moment, right? So even the memories, such great gifts, let them go. Let them flow. Let them in the past and be here. Because when we hang on to those, we're not present with the gifts we have. Our love stories, and these love stories can be of romantic love, of children, of parent, right? Our parents, right? So many of us have heartbreak. My mother died 2 years ago, but my beautiful mother, my dear mother, my mother who had a lot of pain in her life, a lot of ancestral pain, she was not mine. She was not my mother to own. She was my mother to have as a gift, right? We get so upset when the loss, but they're not our gifts. They are our gifts. So they are our gifts, but not to keep. So we get to be thankful for the gifts, whether the love shows up for a moment, like in my story, or for many years. And the most the most beautiful thing is that this gift of love is in our heart. And the gift, truly the gift is that everyone we have ever loved, everyone who's ever loved us is here to remind us, to remind you, beautiful ones, that you are a reflection of this divine love. It is a remembrance of who you are. Share this with anyone that needs this. I am Bird Mejia, intuitive healer, here to help you heal the ancestral wounds that show up for so many of us in repeated patterns of heartbreak, anxiety, depression, disease, suicide, all the different things that have been carried on and now are being healed. Sending you so much love and light. I love you.